Was curious about meme coins. Even just before he took office, he creates one. His wife creates one, and there's a lot of even the Argentinian guy done one. A rug pull. There was a scam going on there, but it's like I think. Personally, I don't think that should be allowed because you've got so much influence. You're out there, everybody's kind of living on your word. They either hate you or they love you. And you come along and you create something and it's like people just invest in it thinking that this is going a certain way. And unfortunately, there's a lot of influencers doing the same thing, but that's like like what you had said earlier, do your own research. It's kind of just because it's someone's name doesn't mean that it's going to go up.
Well, when I was doing research for the book, I looked a lot into financial literacy because I'm really blessed that my parents are financial planners. And I just thought everybody growing up were little nerd kids that talked about interest rates, and compound interest over time at the dinner table. And it turns out, nope, that was a weird family that we had. But it turns out that, about, I think, I think two-thirds of the world is financially illiterate. And that's a really terrifying thing because we haven't been teaching financial literacy, especially in democracies. That's kind of a travesty when you think about it, because we actually have the ability to have a lot of control over our finances, ostensibly, right? And if you don't know the risk of investments, if you don't know how risky something is, then you can make really bad life choices, right? Now, having said that, when people tell me about meme coins and they're like, well, we should ban meme coins and make them illegal, I kind of say, are you going to do that for casinos? Are you going to do that for betting houses? Because we all know how terrible an idea a casino is. And yet, millions of people travel around the world to walk into a building where the odds are literally against them and they'll throw money away. And there are a lot of people who would say they enjoy meme coins. They like, supporting fart coin or dog with hat or whatever the, new thing is of the day. And there's a cultural aspect to it that I think people don't realize. But in my mind, I don't see it any different than the gambling industry, right? Except for the fact that usually there's especially in Europe, one of the things I love is there's usually tons of warnings about if you were to go to a casino, if you have a gambling problem, call this number, right? Or there's usually like a disclaimer. I remember driving around Ireland and listening to the radio, and even their lottery tickets, they have like a little announcement on the radio that's like, you have a 0% chance of winning. It's like a very nice, loving, wonderful, just know you're making a terrible life choice, but we don't do that for crypto. And it's that consumer education, consumer protection piece that's missing that I think a lot of us in crypto wish the industry was better at or that there was more regulation. I think other countries are doing this better. I don't think you're going to see consumer protection increase in America. But to your point, it would be really great if you want to go into meme coins, great, but then understand the risk. Understand that, there are people with algorithms and trading programs that are analyzing all of this, and you are at a disadvantage if you're just a person trading in meme coins when there are professionals who are trading against you, right?